I'm so excited. I have so much beautiful spring decor. I actually haven't been shopping. I have not stepped foot into a store since January, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to. So everything that we are using today are things that I've had for years or that I got from my mom. So I'm super excited to share all of that with you guys. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ashley, and if you're a returning girl, it is so good to see you. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you love decor, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I have so many decorating videos coming out very, very soon, but today we are focusing on the kitchen and the living room. We are gonna get it completely magical and ready for hosting. So if you guys are ready, grab something to drink and let's jump right in. There's something so peaceful about springtime, the soft florals, fresh greenery, flickering candles, and yes, I still have a few bunnies and eggs I couldn't let go of just yet. I hope this video gives you the cozy inspiration you need as we shift from late spring into early summer. Before any decorating happens, I always start with a full kitchen reset. I wipe down the fridge, countertops, and sink, and let me know in the comments if you're like me and need a clean space before the fun can begin. There's something about a sparkling surface that just sets the mood for a fresh new season. Next, I started bringing in a few seasonal touches, some sweet Easter bunnies, pastel eggs, and I added some muffins to my cake stands. Even though Easter has passed, these little moments of whimsy still feel joyful and inviting. Let me know what is one spring decor piece you always leave out just a little longer than planned. Tell me below, I know I'm not alone.
But I want you close, and I still have hope. I'm waiting every day for you to come back and tell me we can work it out, forget about the past. Now time moves slow. I'm not high or low, no, I'm somewhere in the middle and a little bit messed up. 'Cause without you,
I recently inherited my mom's houseplants since she just relocated to Florida and could not take them with her. These are from her Michigan house, and I'm not gonna lie, I've never been able to keep an indoor plant alive. I am really good with plants outdoors, like the garden, everything else, but for some reason I cannot keep my indoor plants alive. So please drop all of the recommendations and suggestions down below, because since filming this video quite a while ago, I would say at least 2 of them are hanging on for dear life. On my kitchen island, I placed one of my favorite white ginger jars next to a vintage metal basket of eggs and a spring candle. I love mixing structure and softness. It feels clean but still full of character. I also restocked my fruit bowl. Little daily moments like this always make me feel more put together, even if the rest of the house is still a work in progress. Next, I cleared off the nook table and started prepping for my spring wreaths. I love decorating the spot near the doors. It's one of the first things guests see, and it just sets the tone. I wiped everything down with Mrs. Meyer's cleaner and started staging the wreaths. Okay, you guys know I love my wreaths on the door, so I have this beautiful one. I think I might hang this on my ladder in my living room, but I love it with the little Easter eggs, and we got this at an estate sale last year. I just thought it was so pretty. And then there were a couple other that were similar to it, and you guys know I love my wreaths on my door in my kitchen. So we are gonna put these up, and these wreaths, when we got them at this estate sale, they were brand new, still with the tags on them. I love this one, but it doesn't really match, and I'm not a huge fan of whatever this is, but I love everything else on it. So maybe I'll cut these out I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like this wreath or not really? I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this part, but I might try to find a spot for this, or maybe I'll put it on the front door. We'll see. But here's the other one that kind of coordinated. So I thought this one and this one could be next to each other in the kitchen on the doors. I mean, they're not twins, but you know, they're like sisters, distant cousins. They look close enough. I feel like it'll still be really pretty, and I think the leaves are beautiful. So we're gonna put those up, and I found some ribbon in my Easter bins from last year. So we have some of this gingham ribbon. They're a little bit thinner than I would like. I prefer a little bit of a thicker ribbon, but since I'm not going to the store, I can't complain. We're just gonna use what we have. So let's get these hung up and see how it turns out.
I wake up from the sunshine on my face.
Hanging these wreaths is one of my favorite parts of this whole routine. I used a soft green gingham ribbon to tie them at just the right height, and I fluffed each one to make sure they looked full and natural. I love how the ribbon adds that subtle vintage charm. Would you hang wreaths indoors like this, or are you more of an outdoor only wreath person? I'd love to know how you style yours.
Being to myself and sit in silence until I got a call. My friend showed up at my door. They wanted me to go out for a while. We were dancing in the dark with a view.
Next, I added our little kitchen chalkboard menu to the fridge, again with that same green gingham ribbon, and finished it with a tiny bow. I love how these little details tie the whole space together. Back at the Nook table, I brought in a woven wicker tray and layered it with this gorgeous white ceramic vase from Pottery Barn. I filled it with spring branches, adjusting and shaping them until they looked a little wild, a little whimsical, just how I like it. I added a dried floral bunny, 2 mini spring bowls, and a tiny terracotta vase filled with faux lavender to finish off the look. It's simple, but it feels so full of life. Then back to the kitchen island to light that spring candle. Such a small step, but it brings the whole room to life. Moving into the living room, I hung my favorite faux greenery garland across the mantle. If you've been here a while, you probably recognize this one. I reuse it season after season because it's just that good. Underneath, I added a white bunny and burlap garland for an extra layer of texture. Next, I cozied up the couches with an ivory chunky knit throw and mixed in a blend of pillows, some neutral, some black and white floral. I love mixing prints and textures to make the space feel lived in but still put together. What's your go-to throw pillow combo for spring? I'm always looking for fresh inspiration. Next, I'm styling this small white side table between our bay windows and edge of the living room. I added this green and white spring vase filled with hydrangeas, a green ginger jar, and a little woven bunny to tie it all together. It's these tiny corners of the home that make such a big difference in how everything feels. To finish off the garland over my fireplace, I tucked in a few sweet little carrots and pastel Easter eggs. I love how they instantly brought in a playful garden fresh touch. It's whimsical but still soft and pretty. Let me know in the comments if you decorate with garlands for spring too, and if you've ever tried adding little veggies or unexpected pieces like this. On the hearth, I placed this big garden bunny. He's one of my favorite finds. I just love how he's carrying that tiny backpack full of spring veggies like he just came in from the garden. On the opposite side, I brought in this vintage style wicker trunk and topped it with two more sweet bunnies. One's in a little pink dress riding a bike with flowers in her basket. She is just the cutest. And the other's in a little yellow raincoat ready for a spring shower with her basket of veggies. They feel like characters in a storybook. Do you have a favorite spring or Easter piece that comes out year after year? I'd love to hear what makes it special for you. Next, I added a pop of color to the blanket ladder. I secured this small wreath made from spring florals, Easter eggs, and even tiny butterflies using a pink gingham ribbon and tied it off with a soft bow. It's such a sweet little moment when you walk into the room. I started off cleaning this gold side table. I placed a small wooden wreath with Easter eggs and little daisy touches. I love combining natural textures with soft florals. Right in the center, I added a simple stone bunny, just enough to say spring without being too loud. And finally, on the coffee table, I styled this wooden tray. Inside, I added a ceramic pitcher decorated with little daisies. I filled it with a soft mix of white hydrangeas and roses for that fresh, layered look. Next to it, I added a mercury glass candle and a tiny bunny figurine to finish the look. It's such a peaceful little moment, especially when the sun shines through the window in the late afternoon. Now that everything is styled and in place, I'll leave you with a quiet little tour of all the cozy corners we brought to life today. Light a candle, take a deep breath, and enjoy the peaceful spring vibes.